so I thought it'd be all cool and stuff and get up there. They're all looking at me like, what is he doing? They couldn't wait for me to leave. I don't know who won the guitar because I left.
Oh man, I've had those days. How about
Just
you,
one of
Larry?
those nights.
I've had many, but one that's kind of memorable, I was in Weinheim, Germany. And I watched these guys break my flying V guitar right in front of my face.
Oh,
They wasn't, it was an accident, they weren't trying to do it, but I had my guitar propped on the wall, so these guys that were the sound men, they come in and they were rearranging some speakers or whatnot, and the cables were behind my guitar, and they wanted to move the speakers. They moved the speakers, and the cable caught the guitar and threw it right down on his face in the case. In the case, and when I opened it up, the headstock raised right up out the case, like that. And so we were on tour, and we ended up having to drive somewhere to a luthier that reset my headstock and fixed it and everything the best he could for me to finish the tour, which it worked fine, but I didn't even want it no more with a broken headstock like that. So Gibson Guitar arranged for me to have a loaner.
Oh man.
And I got the loaner guitar and I finished the tour, but you know, it was a totally strange guitar. And from that point on, let me know that I play guitar. Guitar don't play me. And so I stopped having favorites. Anything that I have to play, I can't play it. But that's what really freed my mind up to let me know that I could do that. You know, they all are basically the same functionally.
Yeah.
And you know, I had to go cold turkey right there on the spot on the gig. You know, they broke my baby, so I got to play what they brought for me.
Were you ever able to get the Flying V fixed correctly?
The guy that did it over there, he did a really good job for me, but I broke it 2 more times after that. And the third time it was broke, I sent it back to Gibson Guitar, and they put a new neck on it, a new neck and a whole new thing, you know. So my particular brown one doesn't have a serial number because it's a replacement.
No kidding.
Can I ask Larry a question?
Yeah.
Based on that?
Yeah.
Larry, when you went to record Heartbreak City in Los Angeles last September, did you take a guitar with you?
I took a little Gill guitar.
Oh, you did?
I played that little red Gill.
I was under the impression you just played whatever Joe had in his collection.
The only thing I used it on my guitar on was the lead on Heartbreak City, Bright Side,
Okay.
and Everything Falls on Me.
But you're mostly playing strange
I
guitars.
played all of Joe's guitars.
Yeah.
Yeah. The whole session I used all his guitars, just except for those 3 songs. Yeah.
Is that what got you spoiled to the point where you wanted to get the one you've got with you tonight?
I've wanted a heritage guitar for years.
Yeah.
And just never was able to happen. And about 2 months ago, Jake Kershaw, who's a fine young guitar player, he lives on the other side of the state. I knew him when he was young. And when he come out, he got in good with Heritage right away. They built him a custom guitar. And he called me on the phone one day and we were talking, and before the conversation over, he said, Larry, how come you don't play Heritage? I said, Jake, I've been trying to get one of them for about 30 years. He said, man, I'm gonna call Pete Farmer. And he texted me Pete Farmer's number.
Wow.
And next thing I know, I get a text from Pete Farmer, and he said, hey, why don't you come by Heritage Guitars sometime and talk to me? He'll just come by for a visit. Maybe we can talk guitar. And that's what started it right there. And the second conversation, I end up with him.
Now it's important to note that when you got that call, you were on the road, right?
No, I had just come home.
Okay.
I had
because
just
you were
come
out-
home,
you
and
were
I
together
had one more day before it was time for me to leave again. So after I spoke with him, I told him what my endeavors were. I told him that I would love to be a Heritage Guitar representative. You know, I thought that they were fine instruments. I love to play one.
Oh, yeah.
And I told him that I was on tour and that I could use a loaner if he had anything, just to see what he would say. I said, although I know that's kind of short notice, I said, but I said, if you had something, I could use something now. He said, well, maybe it ain't too short a notice. He said, give me a couple hours and let me call you back. So he called me back in about an hour and said, hey, I got a Les Paul H115 over here. How soon can you get here? I said, well, when do you close? And he said, at 3 o'clock. Well, I said, I can't be there at 3, but I'll be there before 4. I said, I'll be there about 3:30. And I jumped right up and went to Kalamazoo, right on the spot. And I drove over there and got it.
Now, for those that are in the room with us tonight, he just got back from a tour with Devin Allman. He was just getting ready to go out on the Big Blues Bender.
Mm-hmm.
And following that, you went on the KTVA cruise with Joe Bonamassa.
Right. But in between that, I had a second leg of the Devin Allman tour.
Oh, you had a second leg?
Yeah,
Okay.
we had 13 more dates with him.
Wow.
And I did those 13 dates, and then I went to the cruise.
Man, so
Yeah.
you really got to break her in good, didn't you?
Oh yeah, I got a good dose.
All right, what do you think of the Heritage, man? You've had it for a while. What do you
I
think?
love it. I absolutely love it. It's one of the most sturdy and stable Les Pauls that I've had my hand on in a while, and I really like their pickups. They wind their own pickups right there at the factory. And the factory is the old Gibson. It's really the original
Yes, sir.
Gibson guitar plant.
And some of the same luthiers that worked for Gibson stayed, correct?
They Gibson guitar sold out to Heritage, and well, actually Gibson guitar moved
Yeah.
to
Nashville.
And when they moved to Nashville, all the Michigan luthiers didn't want to pick up their roots and go to Nashville, so they stayed in the factory and started Heritage Guitar. They said, we ain't gonna build Gibson no more, we gonna start our own thing. And that's how they got a sponsor, because it was all the senior luthiers.
Man.
All the old cats who knew all the handwork and stuff.
Yeah.
And so they started that company.
I remember what you said when I called you. I said, well, what do you think of that new guitar? Because he told me that he got a new one, you know. He said, it plays like butter.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to start with you, Larry, because we're over on this side of the table. Again, for the performers that have done this, is there anybody that you have not shared this